I wish these moments here, because you only get to experience something new once.
Yeah.
You only get to experience a new...
Welcome to Tokyo
Tuesday. If you're a regular viewer, welcome back. I'm sitting on the floor. Today what we're going to be talking about is a little bit of my experience coming to South Korea for the first time and some of the minor culture shocks.
Yeah.
Now, just a little bit of a disclaimer for this one. All the opinions stated within this video are just my own, and some of them will be Sharla's probably as well. For those of you who just stumbled upon the video and this is your first, I am originally from Canada but have been living in Japan over 10 years. Sharla lived in Japan for 12 years and currently lives in South Korea, where I am visiting her for the first time ever. So I want to jump right in. I've made a little bit of a list, but one of the first things that got me as soon as I came into the country was the dark tinted windows of the cars.
I knew you would notice that because I know you're into cars. I noticed it right away and I was like, wait. And I asked my husband and he's like, yeah, that's totally normal here. Everyone does it.
Like everything except for the windshield. I wouldn't be surprised if people like, even the driver's side windows. You can't do that in Japan. You can't do that in Canada.
No, probably nowhere in the world with the safe driving laws, but they do it in Korea.
The second one on the same note of the cars. The honking. Oh, the honking, Sharla. You see, coming in from Japan, I wasn't used to the constant honking. Japanese people rarely use their horns. Like, they do.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone use a horn in Japan. I lived out in the countryside. There weren't, like, traffic jams or anything, so...
Especially bus drivers. Not to mention the fact that every bus or large-size vehicle or, like, corporate vehicle, like a taxi, is covered in advertisements.
Yeah,
that feels a lot more like North American. It's not.
It does.
Like buses sometimes in Japan are covered in corporate advertising. Like there was one where they used the tire to make a lens for a Yodobashi camera.
Really cool.
That was neat. Brief interruption. It looks really good.
That's the mochi.
Let me
show you. Glad we...
But oddly enough, like the honking and all that doesn't really bother me.
It doesn't bother me either. I kind of like it.
There's something refreshing in the directness of everything. The next one that got me, and again, not so much like a culture shock, but just coming from Japan into Korea, I was surprised by the number of like Western food options.
Yes. That's one of the exciting things.
Yeah. Yeah, like I came in, I saw Quiznos right away.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Lots
of donut places that Japan didn't have.
And yet at the same time, they still have all the very obvious Korean food options.
Yeah.
So it feels really, really mixed. And I think that's a really nice segue into, it's hard to get a grasp on Seoul coming out here. I'm only here for 48 hours, just for a very short project time here. It feels like you're in Asia, but it also feels like you're kind of in Toronto.
Yeah. Oh, that's so true.
So how do you feel now after a few months?
I just find it really convenient because whenever I want something, they have it. Whether it be something North American or something Korean, they have both. So living here, I find it makes it very comfortable for me, someone who's lived both in Asia and in North America, because they have all the things that I've grown to love over the years. So I really like that.
I did not see it coming, so I can see why you like it. I can see why you like that aspect of it. There are entire brands that I've forgotten about, like brands of car, brands of electronics, everything like that. Yeah,
it's not just food.
There's a lot of like great Korean brands out there that aren't apparent or available in Japan. Like we were talking yesterday about Kia cars and Hyundai and stuff like that. Things that you almost never see in Japan.
They exist.
Yeah, you completely forget that they're actually a thing. I'll just put a couple like here. There we go. But yeah, being in Japan where Korean brands aren't a thing, it was interesting to see them coming in here. I was like, oh yeah, Kia cars. Forgot about those.
Yeah.
Another one that I didn't realize because I've been in Japan for so long is just your comfort level with streets and buildings.
Oh.
Like I've gotten so used to navigating Japanese streets that I can go into a new area and never get lost.
Yeah.
I have a sense of direction. I know what everything looks like. Yeah. And I think this is just coming into a new country where you're not familiar with the layout.
Yeah. And it's kind of all over the place here. It's not like a nice grid layout. The streets are pretty like wonky, so it can be kind of hard at times.
I decided to go for a walk like first thing in the morning this morning and was instantly lost. Like I decided to do this like little spin thing with the camera, and then I was like, oh no,
And lots of
which
the
one
buildings
did I
look
come
really
from?
similar too. That doesn't.
Yeah, one that I should have been prepared for but didn't even think about it. Power converters and everything I'd kind of thought of, but I wasn't thinking about the plug shape.
Yeah.
I didn't expect Korea to have the
Completely
European
different.
plug shape.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. I found that really interesting.
I just went out and I bought a converter.
Yeah.
Sucked that I had to buy one. I brought one, but I needed more. I thought they'd be easy to find, but they're not.
They're not at all.
So now that you've been here as long as you have, how do you feel?
Well, I still use mostly Japanese electronics, so I need to constantly be using converters and also transformers because the
Voltage and wattage
is
difference.
different. So it's a pain, but like I'm more used to it now than I was for the first week.
Yeah.
It's just become habit now. But yeah, I guess in the future after we've been living here for a couple years, it'll be nice to like switch to Korean electronics so we don't have to do that.
Yeah. So I'll put the differences between like Japanese and Korean here and here. Now, if you're using a device that's rated for like 100 volts to 240 or 220 volts or something in the range, you can
Yeah.
still plug it into a Korean slot, providing you have the plug
Yeah.
that fits it. You just need to make sure that it is rated for that.
And make sure because it will light on fire if it's not.
Have you had that happen?
Maybe.
Yeah. That's one which I'm thinking it might have been nice to start with actually because it's kind of big.
Okay.
But there's something I saw in you, something that you see, Sharla and I have known each other for well
long
over
time.
15 years, and I saw something in Sharla that I've never seen before, and it was genuine, honest fear.
I know what he's gonna talk about now.
This girl is terrified about getting hit by a car.
Yeah.
I get the feeling that she's seen some stuff.
I've seen some stuff.
So what have you seen?
Well, I've only been here for 3 months and I've already seen, I think, 2 taxi crashes. And 1 crash of 2 regular people like head-on crashing into each other. But not only did they just head-on crash into each other, one guy just sped off after like totaling the guy's car. And I have a friend that got hit by a car here and like the car destroyed her rib cage and she almost died.
Wow.
So like you need to be very careful about the cars here.
Yeah. I will say for sure that the driving culture isn't as like locked down as I feel it is in like Canada and Japan and whatnot. Like today, we watched a guy completely ignore the red light, go over to the other side, and then drive through the pedestrian
Yeah.
crowd on his motorbike
Yeah.
as if it was nothing.
Yeah, and they'll go up on the sidewalk too, with cars, with bikes, with anything.
Not to mention the number of people I've seen riding motorcycles with no helmet.
Yeah,
Is that like a normal thing?
it's not normal, but they don't enforce the rules as much here. Like I'm pretty sure it's illegal to do that, but again, nobody's checking, so if people are lazy, then they don't wear one.
I'm a huge believer into each their own. I believe that these little differences are what make each country unique. It's the things that I love about it.
Yeah,
It's
for
being able
sure.
to come to a new country and experience these. Like just because driving and honking and all that seems a little more aggressive in Korea doesn't mean that it's in any way like worse or better or anything like that. I enjoy it. I enjoy that difference.
It's a nice change, like
It
as
is.
scary as it sounds.
After driving in Canada for as long as I did, I felt that going and driving in Japan was a really nice change because it felt very safe. Although super crowded, people will wave you in. People don't
Right.
really honk.
Very slow and cautious.
Yeah, there's a cautious and considerate driving culture. Here, it's just like, I'm going, don't get hit by me. And it works though, because
does,
like
'cause
everyone
everyone's
is
used to
driving
it.
with that mentality. I am sure that if I was here a little bit longer, there would be so many other culture
yeah.
shocks. But before I wrap this up, Charlotte, I just remembered that there was one more really big one.
What?
Both of us speak Japanese, so it has been so long since I actually felt helpless
Yeah.
and
in a
unable to
country.
communicate in another country.
Yeah, it's a different feeling.
But-
We had like lots of things that we needed language for,
Yeah,
lost
yeah.
items and phone calls.
Just-
but everyone was so nice.
So helpful.
Even without the language, we were totally able to get through it. So it took some
Totally.
time, but
Is there anything that stood out to you at the beginning and after a few months living in Korea still stands out to you now?
I
knocked my
think
phone
like
over.
I think like the biggest difference is both like strangers and like workers at shops wanting to have like genuine conversations with me. So I think like I was really shocked at that at first. I was like, oh, maybe this person's just like really nice, but then literally everyone wants to talk to me and like ask me where I'm from, either in Korean or English. Sometimes they'll just come up to me in Korean, speak to me in Korean. But I think it's nice. It's a nice change. It's cool that they're curious.
I had an experience like that last night. I got back to my hotel area like really late.
Yeah.
It was like 12:30 at night, and I was about to just head in and do some work. And there were guys sitting outside. They were like, "Hey, come and drink with us," and
They
shared
just
life
randomly,
stories.
like, invited you to drink with them. Like,
Yeah.
that's so cool. Yeah.
Mind you, I have had that in Japan. I have had, especially
not
during
constantly.
Hanami season, but not constantly.
Not constantly.
It does happen, and it tends to happen a lot more when you're new. I think you give something off when you're new.
You look like
Yeah.
new and excited, and they're like, yeah, let's
You got that. You got
talk to the
that
new excited
fresh
gaijin.
foreigner smell, right?
That might be why, because I've got the fresh foreigner smell in Korea. So.
Yeah, right? Like wide-eyed and bushy-tailed,
Yeah,
everything's
yeah.
new and exciting.
That
I
could
feel
be
like you
why.
put that out there and it like brings, I wish you could hold on to that forever.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I wish these moments here, because you only get to experience something new once.
Yeah.
You only get to experience a new place once, and then it's not new anymore. And so I wanted to put this all into this for you guys, but more for me.
To, like,
so
look back
someday
on.
I can
Yeah.
look back at this and be like, huh, that was strange to me back then. It's
Yeah,
totally
that'd be
normal
really
now. Or maybe
interesting.
there's something even more shocking
Yeah.
than this. Guys, thank you so much as always for joining. Listen, if you enjoyed this one, give that like button some love. Do not forget to leave me something in the comments, like your biggest culture shocks when traveling to a new country.
I love hearing those.
Have you been out to Japan? Have you been out to Korea? What were the amazing things to you? We're still like halfway through today.
Yeah.
This is just like, I feel
It's
like
literally been like 18 hours.
yeah, I'm recording this a little premature, so I'm sure I will have more to share with you at some point. And yeah, you guys, you know that I will see you again real soon. Welcome to Tokyo Tuesday. If you're a regular viewer, that threw me off.
1, 2, 3.
Welcome to Tokyo Tuesday. Why are you doing the voice though? Like, just say it in your voice. Like,